Bernadette Badoro, and I am thrilled to be part of Proud Dems US. We're an organization committed to helping Democratic candidates be successful. And right now we are filming the incredible New Mexico Democratic candidates that we have for statewide offices. We're trying to go deep so that you can hear them, see them, and decide which is the best candidate for you to vote for on June 7th.
And I'm Roberto James Montoya, and I hope that you enjoy this presentation of Meet the Candidate. Hello and welcome to ProudDems.us. I am Roberto Montoya, and I am on the Affirmative Action and on the Platform Committee for the Democratic Party of New Mexico. And across from me is Bernadette Baduro, the chair of the Democratic Party of Santa Fe County. And we're interviewing today Heather Benavidez, who's running for state treasurer. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us, Heather. We're glad that you could come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the first question is, we'd like to do a little bit of a deep dive. Tell us, who are you? Where were you born? Who are your parents? How many siblings do you have? Were you married, children? Where did you go to school? And then bring us up to date as to where you are today.
Okay, I certainly will, and thank you so much for having me today. It is a fantastic production you guys have here, and I am very honored to have the opportunity to speak to you and speak to the audience. So yes, I'm Heather Benavidez, and I'm running for state treasurer. I was born in Albuquerque, raised in Valencia County. I turned 44 last week, and so I am proud to live in Albuquerque now with my husband, but my parents still live in Valencia County. They live in Belen. And my mother is a health center manager for First Choice. She's been there for 25 years. My father is a computer programmer. I have two brothers. One is a mail carrier in Belen, and the community loves him. And my other brother, he lives in Hawaii, and he just retired after 20 honorable years in the U.S. Army, so we're very proud of them. Sadly, I did have a sister who passed away in 2019 at the age of 37 from complications of metastatic breast cancer. And so we miss her every day, but she inspires the work I do every day. So, it's a sad thing, but we are moving forward and hoping to fulfill her legacy, which was very good. I am a 1996 graduate from Belen High School. I'm the first in my family to attend college, and I went to UNM. I got a BA in political science and Spanish, as well as a Master of Public Administration with an emphasis on public finance. And like I stated, my husband and I live in Albuquerque, and he is currently a Metro judge, and we share a daughter, and she is a freshman at Arizona State University. Actually, she just finished her freshman year at Arizona State University, so we're very proud of her. How I am prepared to be state treasurer and the status that I am in right now currently is I am the chief of staff in the state treasurer's office, and it's a role that I'm very proud to have, and I am ready to hit the ground running on day one.
Great.
Wonderful. My question, right? Okay. So tell us how many jobs you've had in the last 15 years and how these jobs have prepared you for this job you're about to take on if you were elected into this position.
It's another great question. So I have been a proud public servant for 20 years. I started my public service in 2003 when I had just had my daughter, and I returned from 6 weeks of unpaid leave to my public sector job, and I found out I was being laid off. And so with a brand new baby and no job and no insurance, you can imagine that it was a very stressful time. But I was lucky to be interviewed and hired by the 13th Judicial District Court in Valencia County with no court experience and no legal experience. But they took me in, I started in the clerk's office, and I quickly learned the value of public service, the value of helping people in their time of need. And so I worked my way through the court system, and I was a clerk, I was a jury manager, I was a trial court administrative assistant for one of the district judges while I was going to school. And when I graduated from college, I was lucky to get a promotion to create a pilot project called the Foreclosure Settlement Facilitation Pilot Project to help individuals facing foreclosure save their homes. And so we were able to help thousands of people in Siebel, Sandoval, and Valencia counties do that. And the program has now become a permanent part of the judiciary, and it's been replicated in other districts, so I'm very proud of that. In 2017, I started working for the state treasurer's office to implement ABLE New Mexico, which are savings and investment accounts for individuals with disabilities so they can save without losing their benefits. And I've been there ever since. I was made chief of staff in the fall of 2021. Now, I've also held two political offices. One is municipal judge for the City of Rio Communities. I was elected, I was the first judge elected upon incorporation in 2013. I was re-elected in 2014 and then again in 2018. And I actually resigned that position when I was appointed to fill a vacancy on the Valencia County Magistrate bench. I was appointed by our governor, and I won my primary election to hold that seat, but lost to a Republican in the general. So that was disappointing, but Valencia County's red now, so that's the way it goes. But I feel like my 20 years of public service in state, county, and local government has really prepared me for the role of state treasurer. Human resource management, program management, my experience with investments, budgeting, accounting, it's all come together, I think, at the perfect time to take on this leadership role in the office and, continue the wonderful service of treasurers like Morgan Lewis.
Well, you've covered a lot of ground here, but I have a question for you, and that is, can you explain in your own words what you believe to be the primary responsibilities of this office? And do you realistically believe that you have enough staff to achieve the goals and the ideas that you have for working in this office?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start with the second part of the question. We have 27 wonderful employees in the state treasurer's office right now. And that might be surprising to many people because, we invest and protect $10 billion of your dollars. We have a huge job with a very small staff, but it's a very professional and experienced staff. And we have 5 different divisions: budget and finance, investments, special programs, cash management, and IT. And we all work together every day to make sure that there's transparency and consistent accountability. And one of the main roles for the state treasurer, aside from working with the legislature to create legislation that will either affect the state treasurer's office or affect New Mexicans for retirement or for maybe creating the public bank, is we have our ABLE program, we have our local government investment pool, we are managing or creating Work and Save, which is going to be a retirement program for employees of small businesses. And so aside from doing all that, which is what a treasurer does, which is what our state treasurer does and what I hope to replicate, is being a prudent fiduciary of the state's money. And that means being consistently accountable and always doing the right thing no matter what's thrown at us. And so because we have such an exemplary staff, meaning they have to meet an education requirement, an experience requirement, and a drug screen and a credit and criminal background check to even be hired at the state treasurer's office, you can be sure that your money is safe.
Great. So you kind of covered it a little bit. How many times have you run for office? When have you won? What positions did you hold, and for how long?
Okay, so I've been a municipal judge, which I was first elected in 2013 when Rio Communities Incorporated, and then re-elected in 2014 and again in 2018. I resigned in 2020 to take on the role of the magistrate judge in Valencia County in Los Lunas, which our wonderful governor appointed me to. I was very grateful to have that role. And so I did win the primary, like I stated before, but I did lose the general election to a Republican. And so I have held 2 political offices, and I feel like the municipality was very small. We had 5,000 people. The county's a little larger. I think that there are close to maybe 100,000 people now in Valencia County. It's growing every day. But taking on a statewide office is a much bigger job. And a statewide campaign is a much bigger job. And I am lucky to have wonderful people surrounding me to do that. And I am looking forward to being successful.
So that brings us to the next question. What do you believe has been the most challenging part of this race?
The most challenging part of the race for sure has been trying to balance my professional life with the campaign world, because the two often overlap because I'm already doing the job. But, as chief of staff, I work with the state treasurer and the deputy treasurer and our chief investment officer every day to make sure that, the ball is rolling, that this train is going down the tracks, and it's going very well. But, it's a 50 to 60 hour week quite often, and it does encompass a lot of weekends and a lot of after hours time. And so finding the time to do this, for instance, is difficult. I have to be very careful to mark my time. If I'm here from 1:30 to 2:30, that's my lunch hour for the day, and that's the technical side of it. The mental side is quite difficult to go from, managing an office of 27 people to talking to a room full of 500 people who don't know first of all, you don't know if they're Democrats. And then if they are, you don't know if they support you. And if they do, you don't know if they have specific questions about the office or if they've heard things about the office and they want to bombard you. So It's quite a balancing act, but it's also challenging in a good way because every day I learn something new. Every day I get to meet wonderful people all over New Mexico in all 33 counties. And every day when I start to get overwhelmed, I just remember the path I'm on and why I'm doing it, and it's to help New Mexicans. And regardless of whether I win, I'm going to continue to be a public servant because that's where my heart is.
Excellent. Wonderful. So let's say you win this race. Where do you see yourself in 25 years?
Well, in 25 years, I hope to be retired. But in 25 years, I hope that I can look back and say I did an amazing job and that I represented New Mexicans to the best of my ability and that I was a prudent fiduciary, that I put their interests above mine every step of the way. I'm hoping to incentivize contributions to ABLE accounts by making them tax deductible. That's something I want to work on with the legislators right away. I'm hoping to implement our Work and Save program that we've been working on for 2 years now ahead of the schedule, which is currently, our target date is 2024. I'm hoping to create child development savings accounts for every child in the state, not just every baby born in the state, but every child, so that the financial literacy education we give them can be backed up with the resources they need to apply the knowledge. I'm hoping to remove the estate recovery from ABLE accounts. So currently, when somebody has an ABLE account and there's money in the account when they pass away, sometimes Medicaid will take that money back if they've paid bills for them during the time that they had the account. Other states have done it where they've removed that limitation or that regulation. And I'm hoping to do that here because that money belongs to the person in life and in death. And so those are just some of the more immediate things I would like to do as the state treasurer. But I'm really hoping that in 25 years I can look back and I can be sure that I did a good job and that the residents and the citizens and everybody who lives in New Mexico is proud of the job that I did.
Excellent. So, the final question that we have is, can you tell us why you are truly the best candidate for this and include your closing statements?
Okay, I will too. So, I feel I'm the best candidate for state treasurer simply because I'm there and doing the work. Continuity of good service and good management is very important, and that's what New Mexicans have become accustomed to under Treasurers Lewis and Eichenberg. Some people would say that integrity needs to be put back into the state treasurer's office, and I can tell you unequivocally, integrity has been in that office for the last 15 and a half years, and it's going to continue under my leadership. And so, in the investment world, we always talk about portfolio diversity, and basically it means a portfolio with a bunch of different assets is going to do better than one with few. It minimizes the risk. And so I feel like I'm the candidate with more assets just based on my experience. And so my professional experience as a judge and working in local, state, and county government has given me the experience necessary, and I've cultivated the relationships necessary to work together with the other entities, the other executive offices, with the judiciary, as well as with the legislators. My life experience as a mother and as a wife, and working as a single mom and watching every dollar that came into that house and making sure that my daughter and I had a place to live and that all the bills were paid and that I could put food on the table. It really cemented my respect for the struggle, as well as really cultivated a grit and a determination inside of me to make sure that I can get done what I need to do and do it the right way. And finally, just the integrity that I have for people. It's important in elected office. It's important as candidates. It's important as public officials, as public servants, to remember who we're working for every day. We are working to serve everyone. And when people come to us, they have a need, and it's specific to them, or it's specific to the community that they're advocating for. And it is our duty always to listen and to act as fast as we can, and as prudently as we can, and as transparently as we can. And that is my goal, and that is why I feel like I'm the best person to hold this position, because I can hit the ground running on day one. And so my philosophy is investing in our future by investing in our people, and that is what we're doing in the state treasurer's office already. And under my leadership, we will continue with that. And I am hoping that your watchers and you and everybody here today trust me, and I hope to win your vote, and I will not let you down. But I'm Heather Benavidez, and I hope to earn your trust and vote as the next state treasurer.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
Thank you so
together.
much. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Heather Benavidez for state treasurer.